So Netflix debuted, I guess, a cartoon animated series, CGI series, maybe a few weeks ago, Arcane League of Legends. And we are going to talk about that here for a second. So I'm gonna let Jaren go because I know he as the animators, I'm gonna let you guys have it. I'm gonna let you animators do your thing on this one because I'm just gonna sit back and kind of relax here.
y'all get the tube socks out and the toilet paper because we about to. All
right, so
go ahead, Jaren.
So the best part about this is based on a video game called League of Legends, but you don't have to know dick about League of Legends to enjoy this show. This show has really nothing to do with the game. It has everything to do with a beautifully written tragedy that follows the backstory of some of the characters you may have interacted with in the game and an entire cast of other characters that have nothing to do with the game. So that being said, holy shit. When I fucking shit on Star Wars animated shows and I say that their facial animation is trash, this is what I'm talking about because
you're right.
Man, they convey so much with so little because they have figured out how to make these stylized characters look emotionally unstable, look slightly distrusting of other people, look manically sad and impossibly just ruined by the thing that's happened next to them. It is one of the biggest achievements I've ever seen in animation. That is like these guys literally kick Pixar in the dick. Like, this is fan-fucking-tastic. There are details in backgrounds of scenes that I know for a fact, and I know Jason knows, that you have to plan out and you have to think. Yeah, sorry, Jason. You have to plan out, you have to think. I mean, there was so much love and craft brought into this series that watching it again, just to look at things that you weren't really paying attention to, is highly, highly worth it and super rewarding. The characters are great. The voice acting is great. The facial animation is so fucking next level. The story is just, it is, I mean, I don't want to gush too hard, but it is a tragedy. The story is a tragedy. It is on par with some of the greatest tragedies I've ever read. It's definitely the best thing I've watched in the last couple of years, without question. Without question. I'm having a hard time figuring out what it was that I watched that was better than this. These characters are exceptionally well written. Everybody has a motivation. People that do things because of the situation they're in, and it makes sense. There is no exposition. There doesn't need to be that much exposition because shit just happens because shit's happening. And these characters are living their lives in this fully realized world. I absolutely love this. I recommend this to everybody. I cannot tell you enough. It will make other animated things that you watch. If you watch this and then you go back to other things that are even animated by big studios, you will start to see the little things that me and Jason pick out as animators and get a little nitpicky about because they fire on all cylinders in this. And I absolutely love it. I highly recommend it. I want Jason to start talking because I just want to, he's going to bring up probably story parts and it's going to make me think about something. And I want to cut in and yeah, but I want this to be a conversation. I don't want this to just be me talking.
We witnessed in real time everyone Jaren orgasming. This is what he does. Ladies out there, Jaren single. If you
so single.
Everybody should find someone that looks at you the way that Jaren looks at Arcane.
Yeah,
that's love right there.
The lonely pandemic.
That motherfucker ain't wrong. He is 100% right about everything. Like, I could not give a shit about League of Legends. I may have played it once, and I was like, this shit's not for me. I don't care. I don't care about League of Legends. And the fact that I didn't care about this made me hesitant to even watch the show. But I was bored, so I was like, fuck it. Let's see what happened. And I'm so glad I did. this show is a work of art. It is a masterpiece. It's astounding. It is amazing. It's all those other fucking great, descriptive words that I can't think of right now because I'm drawing a blank. The character design in this is so like detailed. Like I've never like really seen anything like this before. The painterly style of the character designs of the backgrounds, there's got like this 2D feel to it, but then it's obviously this computer animated, but it blends so well that you see these 2D elements, but it makes sense in the world that they're presenting to us. So it's not like jarring to see like the 2D smoke or the 2D flames or the big 2D matte paintings of in the background. It all blends together because the character designs are informed by the art style and everything's brought together cohesively. Jaren said it, the animation is fucking amazing. Like there is a subtlety to the face that I have never seen before in a TV show, let alone like on a Netflix. Like
Right.
you barely could see like Pixar does this sort of thing,
Yes.
but you barely see this sort of subtlety and sort of like nuance in facial animation unless you're getting a mocap sort of like performance in maybe a video game. But it's in that it's obviously mocap because you usually has an actor's face or whoever. And this, I mean, like there's points where I'm thinking, is this mocap? But like, nah, this is like hand animated shit right here, right? Like, and it's so good, it's so gorgeous. And all this wouldn't really matter if the story didn't match the presentation, right?
Yes.
Like none of this would really. I mean, like it was like, oh, this is gorgeous, but it's like it's empty if there was no story here. But as Jared said, this world there's very little explanation of the world because they allow it to live and breathe through the characters. The characters are unique enough that you can get their idea and understanding of the world around them from that character's perspective. You don't need things explained to you. You don't need big expo drops of like, this is what happened 10 years ago, blah, 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 blah. It's all shown by action and they show it and not tell it, which is one of the biggest things in the visual medium that you want to do, whether it be movies, TV shows, or whatever, that you show the story rather than just tell it. And they do this so very well. We get the thing that's really cool about this, we get kind of like two different timelines of action of story here. We get to see the main characters as children after their parents die, and then we get to see them about 10 years later as adults and this whole conflict between them. And as Jared said, it's a tragic sort of fall of like one character going to the dark side, basically, while another character is rising to try to stop that character and all the people in between.
And there's shades of gray to that too.
I mean, and there's shades of gray to that. Arguably, Jace having to
the character going dark due to her sister, like her actions were harsh. Like it was bad. She made a bad call. A good person made a bad call, and that set in line action.
Two people to go down the path, so they went down, and it's so great.
Yeah.
I would like a whole show about the mom from the black girl's mom who's from Noxon. I don't know where they're coming.
Oh yeah.
I can have a whole like bring a spinoff about her life because that bitch is awesome. I don't even know what she's only in 2 episodes for like 4 seconds, and I'm like, okay, I want to know more about her.
Also, Echo. I'm like,
Echo is. I'm actually, I saw Echo and I'm like, man, I need to find a way to do that cosplay for next year's Dragon Con because that shit looks amazing.
Fucking dope ass hoverboards.
Yeah, there's not so. I could keep going and keep saying it, but I'll just be saying the same things over and over again. This show is amazing. It is groundbreaking. Like, even if you don't like animation, you should give it a watch because it's just such a good story being told. Just give it a watch, and I'm done jizzing too.
The stories and the characters are so well put in front of you. The idea of animation melts away, and you are just watching something that's wildly entertaining and necessary to finish. And then a fight will happen, or something action-oriented will happen, and it will rip you back into reality and remind you that it's animation because the directing in it, the action directing in it, is hard. It's impactful. It is creative where the camera goes. It is vicious, and it is everything you think of when you remember ever being in a fight yourself or seeing your favorite fights on screen. There is an impact to it. There's this kinetic energy that really translates well, and that has a lot to do with the director and the technical artists that did all the visual effects on top of, because I mean things like energy splashes and 2D smokes and things like that. Like those teams work together so exceptionally well to create an amazing finished product.
I want to bring in two more things about this show, and then I'll be done. One is, as I told Jason and Jaren, I believe this is kind of like the culmination of both the Western styles and the Eastern styles of animation. Like this is a very anime-esque storytelling in this. There's very much we don't really get in the Western school of things very many dramatic pieces of animated work unless it's like 9 or something like that. So it's like that's a lot of things that people love about anime is that it's drama, it's dramatic, it's adult oriented. It's not silly cartoons like we get on Cartoon Network. And this is it. This is just like that. And it's also the things that me and Jaren love as Western animators. It's the detail. It's the heart, the work they've put in behind this. It's like the perfect blend of both these two schools of thought. And also that this show is basically in-house for Riot Games. Like they didn't really ship this off to someone else to make. The two showrunners worked on the games. They are a part. They love this, and you can tell by the presentation of this show that people who love this thing is working on it, and that's so good to see. And that's all I gotta say. I gotta mop up. I got a little wet spot in my pants too. I gotta mop up here.
You got
all right. Well, while you mop that up, we'll take a quick ad break. All right, we are back, and Jason and Jaren, you guys clean? You guys have cleaned up yourselves, and
I might go another round.
All right. So yeah, I did see Arcane as well, and can we please get more cartoons like this, because this is a beautiful cartoon. I already know Jaren also gave us a good rave about the He-Man cartoon that we didn't review in the animation there. He talked about the animation style there, but when these guys are gushing about the animation, it's just excellent animation. So I'm not going to spend as much time on it because they went through it. But if you don't check out anything about it, just check out a few minutes of opening of the animation. If it hits you, ride with it. If it doesn't, then stay for the story, because the story is excellent.
Yeah,
I admit, because it's a cartoon, I thought it would be a kind of a kiddish storyline. But it kind of kicked me in the junk. It had a lot of swerves that I didn't expect.
Episode 3.
But the ability to tell a story about classism, regret, survivor's guilt, generational trauma, and growth all into one story,
and systematic racism and oppression.
Yes, and it works. Like, how this should be a jumbled mess, but it's made just fascinating and keeps you intrigued. As you zoom into other character stories, you're just as intrigued. Like, you almost had to feel like, oh, I want to stay where I'm at. And then you get into the other storyline and you're like, oh, never mind, I'm good.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah, I'm good. And then you're like, and then they move again. You're like, oh, no, I'm going to stay where I'm at. And then you go, no, I'm good here. I know that this is a Vi and Jinx storyline dominant, but all the secondary stuff felt important. It felt lived in, but also like they did the thing that I've always liked, where you make the stories eventually collide. It somewhat happens, but doesn't happen to the degree that you expect from a movie. Right. And that's what goes into my next point. It's a lot of tropish stuff in here, but the tropes feel new. Like, you can call the tropes, but it doesn't feel like the same old. And kind of like what Jaren said, that there is no such thing in this show as a good hero or a bad villain. These are just people who've decided paths in their lives that maybe you may not agree with or you disagree with, but the rationale for their path is very set in stone. It's you can see yourself saying that, hey, maybe I will respond the same way if I had the same things happening to my life. So their motivation for a lot of them is almost gray area, but it helps. It works. I mean, just think about the fact that, like, Vi has to deal with her regret and the classism situation with her love. Like, those things shouldn't even go together. It should just be like, oh, you just deal with the regret, you deal with that situation, and that's it. But you throw that in there. I mean, Jinx's survivor guild is some of the best I've ever seen in all of TV. Like, the whole seeing her old friends and still thinking that she's communicating with them, even when she makes the time, when she finally sees her sister for the first time, well, not the first time, but really, really sees her, and she makes the comment that, oh, I've seen you, like, basically, I've seen you numerous times. I've talked to you so many times.
Yeah.
Homegirl been in jail. You ain't talked to her at all. But in her mind, she's talked to her numerous times and has had conversations.
In the stylization approach, the art director, the stylization approach, the hard scribbled, almost manic drawings that overlap for a split second. Really,
I'm gonna get that to a second too, because it's something that I thought was really, really cool too, going with Jason's theme about Eastern and Western combined there. Also, I love about the beauty of this, I love that it's no magical fix and solution. It isn't like, oh, you found out that he was lying to you, so now you're a good guy and let's go. No, it's still like, I was lied to, but I still carry all that baggage. I'm not magically gonna be a good guy now. Yeah, like, because that's not what I've been for years. So, also, let's talk about the action. The action we talked about briefly, but the action in this thing's amazing. And like, as you talked about the frenetic feel of the action. Also, if you notice, each character's fighting style that may have been different from a character they're facing, whenever you got the kind of almost POV from the character they're facing, the style of how it was shot and how it was animated changed a bit. Jinx, which I thought was a great, I don't know if it was a homage or just how they did it. I had a lot of Dragon Ball Z feels and vibes, how she would sketch out of places and reappear places. Like, that's a Dragon Ball Z trope to the end of the world. Like, I'm so quick that I can move from here to here and you don't see it. Like, I thought that was just magical. Violet's rough fighting style. Like, she's anytime she knuckled up,
knuckle brawler.
Anytime she knuckled up, it was brutal. It was gross. It was harsh. And then, the beauty of all this for me is, I think I can't recall any series where they let the woman be the brash, like, fighter.
Pugilist. Yeah.
Also,
like, that's a very huge rarity. It was almost $1 Million Baby-esque brutality in this type of in these fight scenes. So, for me, I can't wait to season 2 if it gets one, because who knows?
They got green light for a second season 2.
I mean, she's good at what she does. She's an accomplished fighter, but just like that movie, Nobody, like, she takes her lumps every time she gets in the ring.
Gets beat up too.
She isn't that
but she doesn't get up.
She doesn't that idea of like an action star where they take a couple punches, but there's never a bruise or anything like she
lost some teeth.
When she fights.
Absolutely.
I also want to say this before we go on. I also say Jinx is probably the best Harley Quinn since the animated series.
We're going to talk about that in a little bit in the question sections. All right, let's go ahead and go to our ratings. What is your rating of this, Jaren?
5. If I could give it 6, if our ratings went that high, I'd give it 6. It's 5.
Okay,
absolutely necessary.
Jason, your
I'm going to give it a 6. Fuck our rating, 6 out of 5. Fuck that shit.
Fuck it, 7.
This shit is God tier. All right,
it's amazing.
I'm gonna give it a 4.5, and the only 0.5 I give is because my brother should have got some more work in there, man. They can't do Echo like that. Free Echo for season 2. Free Echo.
So you're giving it 4.5?
Yeah, 4.5.
So it's an average 5 because I gave it a 6, so it's an average 5.
All right, there we go.
Yes, absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and
need to see this.
Okay, let's go ahead and jump into the questions, guys. We're moving on. We got it.
We're moving on. Okay. We're moving on. Sorry.
All right, questions. Does this show make you want to play League of Legends?
Hell no.
Oh, I'm not talking 13-year-old.
All right, nope. We'll go right along here. Better crazy, Harley Quinn or Jinx?
Jinx, because here's the thing, and especially in the modern retelling of Harley Quinn, they never really show how intelligent she is. Like, Harley Quinn is a fucking doctor. All right, but she's always being played as the dumb dizzy blonde, and they never really show that that's just an act she puts on due to her mental illness.
Right,
she is a genius, and this one they show that Jinx is a genius. She's also crazy.
She's
okay.
She's able to, I agree. The fact that she's able, and she's not motivated initially, but the fact that she's able to kind of deal with the tech. And kind of sort it out almost on par with our Golden Boy team doing the same thing. Like, with significant.
Okay. There's a question section, Jaron. We got it.
Yes.
Like, you don't want to do a 3-hour show, but you're pushing for it. All right,
Hex. I'm all about 3-hour shows.
Let's go.
I am too.
I've changed my mind.
Hex marbles and magic or vibranium. Which one would you rather have?
Ooh. Hex tech. They make that shit look so good.
With vibranium, you can just put a marble in somebody's wound and it saves them.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta go vibranium on this one, but Hex Tech is cool only because we haven't seen because I didn't play the game, so only because we haven't seen the links at which they can use it for. Obviously for space travel or planetary travel, but
yeah, they just warp them across the planet.
Yeah.
Right.